What's up, book nerds? My name is Tara, and this is day 6 of VEDA, which is Vlog Every Day in April. And today I'm going to talk about something that I brought up in my Day in the Life of video yesterday, which is I said I would talk a little more about my part-time job that helps me get through grad school. So if you're not familiar with how graduate school works, before I went to grad school, I had a full-time job, and I quit that job to go back to school and earn my PhD. And I would not have quit that full-time job just to take on 4 to 7 years of student loans. So when I quit my job, I knew that part of being a PhD student is you get paid to go to school, essentially, if you're at a good school. And my school is not always the best at making sure that we are set in that sense. But for the most part, graduate students have an assistantship that earns like tuition and health insurance while also doing some sort of job that pays an income. So I've done a lot of different things. I've been a tutor, I've taught courses, I taught our YA Lit class in the library science department, and I taught this social justice and education class, which all of our like first year, well, they're third year students, I guess, but their first year in the School of Ed, they all start out with that class to just learn about race and class and gender and how that's going to affect their students. That was an incredible experience getting to teach that class. I loved it. And then in the spring, most springs, I supervise our student teachers. So that's what I'm doing now. So if you're not familiar, again, with how schools of education work and student teaching process, all of our students, elementary, middle, high school teacher candidates, all do a full internship in the spring, which is usually 12 weeks maybe, where they go into the classrooms full time every day, whatever hours their classroom teacher works, they're in there and they take over the class. They plan the lessons, they grade the papers, they talk to the parents, they do everything that the public school teacher does. So even though they're out there and the teacher that they're working with is really the main person who's coaching them through this process, they need somebody from the university to come and check in with them, to do observations, to grade them on their progress, and then finally at the end to grade their final portfolio. And that person is me, at least for a set of 7 students. So if you are a student teacher supervisor, you go and you observe each student 4 times. So I do 4 observations and then I meet with them afterwards to discuss their progress. So it's a pretty good deal in terms of jobs because I only have 6 students, and actually I got a 7th mid-semester. So I have 7 students and I only have to go visit them 4 times. But it is also a very intense job because there's a lot of emails going back and forth. There's a lot of handwritten evaluations that have to be given to them in preparation for those evaluations. So it still does keep me pretty busy. And like I live 30 to 45 minutes from a lot of the schools where these teachers are teaching, so I have to drive out there every week. But overall, it's one of my favorite jobs to do because I love being in the public schools. I love watching these teachers just grow from being like little senior in college students that don't really know what they're doing to really being able to see them be teachers in their own classrooms. It's such a fascinating transformation. There are tears and there's also a lot of joy and there's a lot of humor, and they love their students, and it's just such a nice break from all of the writing and isolation that I have being a PhD student. So yeah, that's what I do. And today I'm talking about this because I did my last set of observations today and my students are all fabulous. I'm so excited to be the person that gives them all the recommendations for their future jobs and just gets excited for them when they finally get their own classrooms. The next big hurdle is they all have a big portfolio that's done through one of the big testing companies, and I have to grade a few of those, and those honestly make me want to stab my eyeballs out with a spoon because they are so tedious, and I don't think they're good representations of if these kids are good teachers or not. But yeah, that's what I do every day. And I don't know if I said this, but what I'm working with usually are middle school language arts and high school English. So I get to go to 6th, 7th, and 8th grade language arts classrooms, and then high school, it's usually junior English classrooms, I think, is where we place most of our student teachers. So like I'll sit in on an AP English class on Shakespeare, or they're reading Sherlock Holmes, or one class was reading The Crucible. It's like these little glimpses into what it was like to be in high school again, because I sit in the desk like a student as I observe my teachers. It's a fascinating little life, I guess. It is what it is. It's how I live. So yeah, that's what I do to make money in grad school. It's not a lot. I'm ready to be done with this and be back to earning a full-time income again, and hopefully being a professor will double the income that I used to make as a public school teacher. So yeah, I think that's all I had to say on that for now. So as always, book nerds, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.